Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about mirror therapy. These are the contents: anatomy, mirror neurons, its mechanism, mirror therapy procedure, its mechanism, indications, precautions, its effect on various conditions. As we all know, brain has four lobes: frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital, and this brain is divided into two hemispheres: left cerebral hemisphere, right cerebral hemisphere, by longitudinal fissure, and it is attached with corpus callosum, which is a bundle like nerve fibers that passes communication information between one hemisphere to other hemisphere. Each cerebral hemisphere has three types of areas: motor areas, sensory areas, and association areas. In these motor areas, first of all, the information from the muscles reaches to the sensory cortex and sensory cortex to parietal lobule. This is the parietal lobule, and this plans the movement and sends to remaining motor areas. In this, primary motor cortex executes the movement to the muscles through the corticospinal pathway, and supplementary motor area coordinates the movement on both sides, and premotor cortex initiates the movement. So there is a pathway called corticospinal pathway. The information from the muscles to the cortex, from the cortex to the muscles. 30% of the fibers and coming from primary motor cortex, and remaining 70% from remaining motor areas, and descends through the forebrain, midbrain, pons, medulla, and here it crosses to the opposite side. So these contralateral fibers descends and enters into lateral horn of the spinal cord, and these crossed fibers are lateral corticospinal tracts, and the remaining 10% of the fibers descends on the same side, ipsilateral side, and these fibers again divided into two types. 8% of the fibers enters and supplies to the opposite side of the trunk muscles, and remaining 2% of the fibers supplies to the same side limbs. And these anterior corticospinal tract enters into the anterior horn of the spinal cord and supplies to these muscles. These are the mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are mostly present in the motor cortex. These are also called as visual spatial neurons. What are visuospatial neurons? That means it helps in observing the movement, imagining the movement, and executing the movement. First of all, if we see anything, the mirror neurons get activated through the visual feedback, and the brain imagines the movement and organizes the movement and remembers the movement. This is the action of mirror neurons. Mirror neurons were first discovered in monkey's brain by Rizzolatti, an Italian neurophysiologist. And mirror neurons are involved in understanding actions and interactions, and these are located in the motor cortex. Mirror neurons are also called as internal mirror of the brain, and its main role is in introspection and self-consciousness. Okay, what is introspection? The examining one's own consciousness is the introspection. So its main role is in introspection and self-consciousness. Mechanism is observational learning. That means observing, imagining the moment, and imitating the moment. Observation, imagination, and imitation. So this action observation facilitates corticospinal pathway and improves motor function. This mirror neuron system accelerates the recovery of motor ability. It activated when observing, imagining, and attempting to execute the movements. It is identified for hand, mouth, and foot actions. See here, a person is observing another person reaching for a cup of coffee, and he imagines the movement and imitates the movement here. This is the action of mirror neuron system. So how can we know whether these mirror neurons are present or not? So electroencephalogram, magnetoencephalography, transcranial magnetic stimulation are the evidence of existence of mirror neurons. There are two networks in the mirror neurons: paretofrontal mirror system and limbic mirror system. This paretofrontal mirror system extends from parietal lobe into premotor cortex to the caudal part of inferior frontal gyrus. This is the paretofrontal mirror system. From parietal lobe to inferior frontal gyrus. And it helps in recognition of voluntary behavior. And limbic mirror system, it is from insula and anterior medial frontal cortex. This is insula to anterior medial cortex and insula to anterior medial cortex. This is the limbic mirror system, and it helps in recognition of affected behavior. Next, the procedure of mirror therapy. What is mirror therapy? It is a rehab technique that is used with mirror. It is defined as therapeutic approach for functional motor recovery by creating illusory visual feedback of the involved hand. This is the normal hand and this is the affected hand. Normal hand is placed in front of the mirror, and this normal hand gives reflection in the mirror and it appears as the affected hand. So it gives the illusion to the patient that affected hand is also moving. The patient sees the reflection of the normal hand in the mirror, and what she thinks that both normal hand and affected hand, this is the affected hand, she thinks both normal hand and affected hand are moving. So this is the illusory visual feedback. What is illusion? The artificial imagination that is existing. It is a non-invasive treatment that helps in neuroplasticity of the brain. Neuroplasticity means reorganizing the lost functions. The brain can able to reorganize the lost functions. It is a neuroplasticity. It helps in neuroplasticity of the brain, and it is a final stage in graded motor imagery technique. Graded motor imagery technique is a sequential process of rehabilitation that provides a sequential brain exercises. And the only treatment uses unaffected side alone. In every treatment we have to perform both affected hand treatment and non-affected hand treatment, but here we only treat the normal hand. It is a cost-effective treatment and conveys illusory stimuli to the brain. See here, artificial visual feedback. What the patient sees? She sees good hand is moving, and she feels kinesthetic sensation to the opposite side hand, and the stimulation in cognitive and sensory pathways will occur, and automatic movement in the affected hand. These are the mirror movements. That means if we tap continuously with one hand, automatically we have to perform automatically without our knowledge the other hand also taps to some extent. And this is the mirror movements. The mechanism for the mirror movements is this. Its history is, this mirror therapy is invented by V.S. Ramachandran. He is a neuroscientist and he proposed the concept virtual reality. Virtual reality means artificial vision that is created by the therapist or a person, that he should believe and accept that this is the real. He will create an artificial vision, but he makes the patient to believe that by maintaining psychophysical parallelism. Psychophysical parallelism means it's a mind-body interaction. Dimensions of the mirror: big enough to cover the entire limb and allows to see all the movements. The patient have to see entire limb movement so that he can easily gain that stimuli very fast. And the size of the upper limb mirror is 25 to 20 inches, and the size of the lower limb mirror is 35 into 25 inches. These are the goals. It increases range of motion, it helps in increase function and coordination, it increases perception, increases plasticity of the brain as we already discussed before, and increased strength and speed, reduces pain, decreases apraxia. Procedure. This mirror is placed to the midline of the body and it should be a parasagittal mirror and in front of the body. The affected limb is placed behind the mirror and normal hand is placed outside the mirror. The reflection of the unaffected hand in the mirror gives illusion of the movement in the affected hand. Unaffected hand mimics the movement of the affected hand. There are two types of mirror therapy, covered mirror therapy and uncovered mirror therapy, and it should be alternatively done. See here, the mirror, the parasagittal mirror is placed in front of the body and in the midline of the body. Phantom limb pain. Phantom limb pain means the patient feels the pain in the amputated limb. The patient feels that the pain still persists in the amputated limb. So this is the phantom limb pain. To cure the phantom limb pain, we have to give mirror therapy and it is very effective treatment. Closing and opening the fist. See here, the patient unaffected hand is here, affected hand is here, unaffected hand is here. The patient sees that both affected hand and unaffected hand, but original affected hand is placed behind the mirror. So opening and closing fist is a type of exercise, and this is a pincer grasping. Pincer grasping exercises, tapping exercises. The patient have to count number of taps per minute to both affected hand and unaffected hand also. Volar and palmar flexion. So these are the exercises, and what it exhibits synaptic plasticity. There is a theory called Hebbian theory. It is also called Hebbian learning or associative learning. This was mainly proposed by Hebb in 1949, and it increases synaptic efficacy. What is the firing of neuron? The cells that fire together wire together. What is this firing of neuron? That means passing of information from one neuron to other neuron, and this repeated firing in every time triggers the same neurons to the brain. So if we do the same movement continuously, the neuron fires and automatically the patient habituates to the movement. Progression. First week, we have to give supination, pronation exercises, wrist flexion and extension exercises, and second week, fingers flexion, extension, counting numbers, tapping and opposing. Third week, we have to start with a simple task like picking up the coins and counting number of beans, counting number of cards, etc. Fourth week, plugging, unplugging, drawing, and this treatment should be minimum 15 minutes, and the patient, according to the patient's ability, he can continue the treatment for at least for 30 minutes or 45 minutes. What the patient should have to do this mirror therapy, to perform this mirror therapy, he should have motor abilities. That means this is most effective in hemiplegia patients with severe paresis. Cognitive abilities. He should have minimum cognitive abilities. That means he should understand the patient. He should understand our instructions. Without understanding, the patient cannot create the illusory feedback. So he should understand our instructions. So he should have minimum cognitive abilities. Vision. Without proper vision, he cannot gain that visual feedback and get mirror neurons activated. So the vision should be must and should in a proper way, and the trunk ability should be in erect position. He can able to sit in erect position for a long time. So he should have that capability to sit. Cardiopulmonary. He should not have any cardiopulmonary problems, because during the prolonged sitting the patient feels breathlessness, so he should have minimum cardiopulmonary capacity. Unaffected hand should be pain free and normal in range of motion. Indications are phantom limb pain, upper limb dysfunctions, lower limb dysfunctions, altered sensations, pain after the stroke, visuospatial neglects, cerebral palsy, Parkinson's, complex regional pain syndrome, trigeminal neuralgia, autism, Dejerin-Roussy syndrome, alien hand syndrome, and focal dystonia. This is a neuronal circuit. When we observe the movement, the motor evoked potential increases. When we observe the movement, the intracortical circuit inhibits. So what happens? Increase in the motor evoked potential amplitude happens. Unaffected hands make smoother movements than the affected hand. So by using this mirror, neuronal circuit gets activated. And the same side limb movements affects primary motor cortex excitability. So optimizing the movement of the brain again executes the movement. After gaining the visual feedback, mirror neurons get activated and motor cortex enhances, and the patient can exhibit plasticity. He can reorganize again the lost functions. Benefits: patient enjoys the treatment and it enhances the muscle strength, increases motor speed, improves motor activity, accuracy of both hands, and improves coordination. What happens in stroke with mirror therapy? In stroke patients, there is an incomplete lesion or a residue of mirror neurons occur, and the areas are temporarily inactive. By giving this visual feedback, the patient can activate the mirror neurons and it helps in performing the normal movements. Phantom limb pain and mirror therapy. After amputation, the patient feels the amputated limb is still present with pain. So he feels and thinks the pain and immobilization happens, and visual feedback was given with the mirror therapy, and the mirror neurons get activated and the patient start imitating the same action and he is free from the pain. CRPS and mirror therapy, complex regional pain syndrome. There is too much pain while moving suddenly. So after getting this visual feedback, the patient learns that affected hand is moving. So he can activate the mirror neurons and performs the movement without pain. He can lose the fear of feeling pain. Autism. In autism, there are behavioral problems in children. So in autism, there is an intention understanding. There is a lack of intention understanding. That means what action we are performing now and why. So these type of understanding is not present in the autism patients. There are repeated actions or involuntary movements, and there is a delay in intention understanding. So after giving this mirror visual feedback, the patient can activate the mirror neurons and he can interact easily with the social and he can lose the social interaction problems, and he can perform correct movements. Parkinson's and mirror therapy. In Parkinson's, we can mainly observe bradykinesia. So after giving this mirror therapy, he receives proprioception and motor training and gets activate the mirror neurons. So he can perform the normal movements again. Dejerin-Roussy syndrome is a thalamic pain syndrome. That means the infection in the thalamus. It leads to motor disturbances and sensation alteration. So this mirror therapy is very helpful in this thalamic pain syndrome patients. Alien hand syndrome. Alien hand syndrome are the involuntary movements performed by the patient. These are purposeful movements, but yet it is very dangerous. That means the automatic movements. He can unable to recognize the objects what he is holding in hand. He can easily grasp anything what he sees. So this is the alien hand syndrome, and it is helpful. After giving the mirror visual feedback, he can control these involuntary movements. Focal dystonia. Focal dystonia is nearly similar to alien hand syndrome, but here there are no purposeful movements. There are unnecessary movements and unusual movements are present. So after giving this mirror visual feedback, the patient can gain normal movements again, and he can avoid these involuntary movements. What are the precautions we have to take while giving this mirror therapy? We have to provide coherent mirror image. So in mirror therapy, we have already seen that what is a coherent mirror image, that the patient can easily able to see the right hand or left hand, and he should create the illusion that left hand is moving. So that type of mirror is a coherent mirror, and there should be no risk of injury. Frequency should be comfortable to the patient. That means the treatment time should be comfortable to the patient. And we have to inform the patient about the side effects, and also what we are performing, and why we are performing this mirror therapy. And the jewelry should be removed because it distracts our mind. It distracts the patient's mind. Environment is free from distraction. What are the negatives in mirror therapy? There is a dizziness, nausea, sweating, and can be panicked by continuous reflection, and neck pain. Neck pain is in a very rare condition if the person is too weak. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, share for more videos. Bye.